Pick up a $100 bill. Look at it closely. What is it, really? A small rectangle of cotton and linen, printed with green ink, worth about 14 cents to produce. So why can you walk into a store and trade that piece of paper for actual food, clothes, or a tank of gas? Why does everyone on Earth agree that this specific piece of paper is worth something, while a piece of paper the exact same size, cut from your notebook, is worth nothing at all?
The answer to that question is stranger than most people realize. Because the truth is, money doesn't actually have value. Not in the way you think it does.
And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. To understand why money has value, we first need to understand a world where money didn't exist at all. Thousands of years ago, before coins, before paper bills, humans traded through something called the barter system. If you had chickens and needed shoes, you had to find a shoemaker who happened to want chickens. Sounds simple until you realize how often that just didn't work out. This is called the double coincidence of wants, and it was one of the biggest problems humans faced in early trade. Imagine you're a fisherman and you need a new roof for your house. You have to find a roofer who, at that exact moment, wants fish. Not lumber, not tools. Fish. And if he doesn't, your fish rot before you find someone who does. There was also the issue of value mismatch. A cow might be worth 10 times more than a basket of vegetables. So how do you make that trade fair? You can't cut a cow in half and hand someone a leg for their potatoes. Barter wasn't just inconvenient, it was fundamentally broken as a system for a growing, complex society. Humanity needed something better. Something everyone could agree had value, that could be divided into smaller and larger amounts, and that could be stored for later. Humanity needed money.
The first attempt at fixing this problem was commodity money, using items that almost everyone wanted, like salt, cattle, or shells.
But commodities like salt or cattle were hard to carry, hard to divide evenly, and sometimes spoiled. So around 600 BC, one of the most important shifts in economic history happened. King Alyattes of Lydia created the first official minted coins. Made from a mix of gold and silver, stamped with an official symbol. For the first time, people didn't have to guess the value of what they were holding. The stamp told them. This was actual, physical value. If a coin contained 1 gram of gold, it was worth 1 gram of gold. Simple, direct, and trusted. But over centuries, something changed. Kings and rulers realized they could mix cheaper metals into their coins while keeping the same stamped face value. The coin looked the same, but it wasn't worth the same anymore. This was the earliest version of something we still deal with today, the slow erosion of money's real value. Eventually, carrying heavy coins for long-distance trade became impractical. So governments began issuing paper certificates, pieces of paper that represented a promise. This paper can be exchanged for real gold or silver whenever you want.
People trusted the government's word, so they accepted the paper as if it were the gold itself. And that's where things get interesting.
Here's the twist most people never think about. Eventually, government stopped backing that paper with gold entirely. And yet, we kept using it. We kept trusting it. We kept treating it as valuable. This is what economists call fiat currency money that has value simply because a government declares it does and because enough people agree to believe it. There's no gold behind your dollar bill, no silver, no physical commodity guaranteeing its worth. Money, as we use it today, only works because of shared belief. It is, quite literally, a collective illusion, one that works incredibly well as long as everyone keeps playing along. This isn't just some abstract historical idea. It's playing out right now in real time. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, economies around the world came to a near standstill. To keep things from collapsing, governments, especially the United States, printed enormous amounts of new money. In fact, a massive portion of all US dollars in existence were printed in just the past couple of years. Here's the problem. Money is only valuable if it represents real goods and services in the economy. When you print far more money than the economy actually produces, each individual dollar becomes worth a little less.
This is inflation plying, and it's why prices at your favorite restaurant, grocery store, or gas station have been quietly creeping up.
You've probably felt it already. That same bag of groceries, that same meal out, just a little more expensive than it used to be. That's not random. That's the direct, visible result of money losing value behind the scenes. Governments borrow money too, through bonds and treasury notes, essentially promising to pay lenders back later, often with newly printed money. It creates a cycle: more debt, more printing, more inflation, and slowly, less purchasing power for everyday people. So here's the real question: if money is just an illusion, a shared agreement with no fixed, physical backing, what does that mean for you and your savings? It means the number sitting in your bank account isn't the full story. What that number can actually buy shrinks a little more every single year. This is why so many investors focus on acquiring assets, things like property, stocks, or other investments that tend to grow faster than inflation, rather than simply holding on to cash. So, why does money have value? Not because of gold, not because of paper, not because of anything physical at all. Money has value because we all agree it does. The real question isn't whether money is an illusion. It clearly is. The real question is, now that you understand the illusion, what are you going to do about it?